Hello. Welcome to a new Rocketbot class. Today we're going to look at databases, and specifically how to handle and work with Oracle databases. Alright, we have this robot and we have this database, and if we look at the tables, we don't have any tables created yet. So let's start with that. Here, of course, we have the credentials for the connection. Let's connect. Let's say it already returns true, so it connects correctly, and let's move on to the first thing, which is to create a table, the query that creates the table, which is create table. The name of the table, the name we want to give that table, and the different types of fields or columns that will be associated with that table. That is, first we're going to have employee ID with the data type it needs and primary key for this one. Then name, we see it's a varchar. Then the same for position, salary, and hiring date, which is of type date. Let's accept and execute. In data, we'll get true, and if we go to the database and refresh, the database will appear and we'll see exactly the following. In data, we'll see that we still don't have any data yet, so now the next step is to insert a piece of data, a record, but we can see that it was created correctly. Alright, so let's do that. Let's go here. The next command is an insert into. So we write insert into, the name of the table we gave it, the different fields it has, and there it's specified what the values should be. For example, the first is ID, which is 1, then comes the name, which in this case is Juan Perez, the position, the salary which says 50,000, and then we have the date. So that goes into the user's variable, which is down here. And if we run it, it will return true. Therefore, we can validate these actions as we go, if we want. Here we see that nothing has been created yet, but if we refresh, we can see that the employment ID column has been created with the number 1, just as we entered it. The name is Juan Perez, developer, salary 50,000, and the hiring date. Alright, we can create another one. Let's create another one right here. And in values, we're going to set the ID. Let's put ID number 2. Not Juan Perez. I don't want it to be called Juan Perez. I want it to be called Rocketbot in this case. Developer. For the position, let's put level 2, since we're teaching a level 2 class. Instead of 50,000, let's put 160,000. Don't ask me why that date came to mind. And let's leave the date as 22. 2022? No, that's too much. 2025, and let's put 0416. 0416. Alright, let's run it. Let's go to the table again. Let's refresh the data, and here we have employee ID. We have 2, name Rocketbot, position level 2, salary 160,000, and today's date. Alright, let's continue. And if I want, for example, to modify that information, that is, update it, or if I need to change a record, what I have to do is use the update query, where I have to write update, the name of the table, set, meaning what I want to set. The name is Juan Perez. Here I change the position to manager, and obviously, since we changed it to manager, the salary also has to be updated. Salary 999,000. Hiring date will be today's date, where I'm going to set all of that somewhere. Where employee ID is equal to 1. So let's run it, and if we go to the database and refresh, well, it's already changed. We can see it here. Juan Perez, manager, 999,000, April 16th, 2025. And there we've modified the record. And now, for example, if I want to delete Juan's record, in this case what I'll have to do is a delete from the table where the employee ID is 1. So let's delete it. Let's go to the table, let's refresh, and now only the Rocketbot record will appear. Alright, well, that's all for today. I hope this is helpful, and I'll see you in the next class. See you later.